Welcome to Number Shuffle game developed using visualbasic.net, and here I have the display that shows you how many clicks so far. And if you want, you can always click on exit. No, I do not want to exit. Let's try that one out. No, we can always reshuffle the game and start it all over. Okay, so that is how it all works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys to visualbasic.net and we can put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Welcome back to Visual Basic. Now all we need to do is just to click on this create new project. Okay, let's give our project a name. Make sure you select Visual Basic and select Windows Forms application. So right there I'm just going to call it VB underscore number shuffle underscore shuffle there, and click on OK. Alright, the form is ready. Now let's define the size of this form. I'm going to make that approximately 1200. Let's go for 654 there. Right, that's fine. The next thing I want to do now is to get some buttons on board. Come right down here, grab a button, and I will also need just one single text box. There we go. I have my text box and my buttons there. For both components, I'm going to change. No, let's change the size of the text of the button to approximately 48. The font will be 48. While the size will be 140 by 140. Font we go for 48. Make that bold, and the size will be 140 by 140. And for this text box, I'm going to make the size of that text box, let's go for 406 by 507. And what about the location? The location for these 600 plus, so that's fine. And yet let's just say that is going to be 4. And let's come right down here, multi-line, check that and say yes. There we go. And now for this button, we need 16 of those. In fact, I'm going to need 18. Hold on to your control, click and drag. We have 2, 3, and 4, and so on. So I'm just going to select it all, drag it down. There we go. And in total I have 16 there. So button 16, I'm going to delete the content we have inside button 16. That's going to be empty. Okay, as for the rest of the button, let's just number them. Let's start from this very one. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. There we go, guys. All my buttons are now named or numbered. Now I also need 2 more buttons right here. Hold on to the control, click and drag. So this very button, I'm going to change the size to approximately, let's make that 230 by, let's say 230 by 76. There we go. And just hold on to the control, click and drag, copy it across. Yeah, my buttons are ready. Now the next thing I want to do is maybe go to the Solution Explorer and right click on this Solution Explorer. Let's click on add. We want to add a model, so let's come right down here. That's the model. If you guys can now see it, once you click on it, or you can always go to project to add the model. Here comes this dialog box right in here. That is the model. I'm just going to leave the name as model 1. Click on add. Now my model 1 is ready. The next thing I like to do now is to come right in here and create some sub procedure empty slot. I'm going to call this empty slot checker. All right, MC slot checker. That's good enough name for me. And in there I'm going to have right in here, let's say by reference, and by reference I need the following. Let's say I'm going to call that button 1, BT1 as button. There we go. And I'm just going to copy that because I need another button. These two buttons will be checking to see if there's any empty slots. So this is button number 2. And in here, the next thing I'm going to do is use an if statement to say button, if button 2 dot text equals empty, then button 2 dot text equals button 1. So let's copy that and just paste, and that'll be all for that. Equals button 1. In that case, button 1 will be empty. There. So let's come right down here, copy button 1, paste it right there. There, that's that taken care of. So the next thing is, let's create another sub procedure. This very sub procedure will be my solution checker. So right underneath here, let's paste that in here and just change that to solution checker. Okay, in the case of my solution checker, that's going to check each of the buttons to make sure everything in there is in order. Let's say button if from 1, so from 1 button 1, okay, because I have to call from 1 because all of the buttons are on from 1. That's why I'm calling from 1. Okay, if from 1 that button 1 dot text equals 1, and from 2 dot button 1, so let's say an if, so that error will disappear. So the next one is going to be from 1 button 2, this is going to be 2 equals 2. We just want to check so that we can identify the winning game or not. So this one is going to be 3 and 3 here, and we need another one that's going to be 4. Paste that in there, and so on, guys. I'm going to have to speed that up. That's equals 4, and right there, guys, those are my winning combination. Once every single button is in order, 1 2 3 to 15, then we have a winning condition there. So in that case, we can always use a message box to just celebrate the winner. So let's come right down here and just say message box dot show as follows. The show, let's say, well done, you are a winner. There, and let's enter some other argument in there, and this is going to be the title, shuffle game. Okay, so we have shuffle game there. Let's enter 2 more arguments. So in here, the next one is going to be message box button dot okay. Okay, then comma, let's use message box icon. In that case, that would be dot information. There we go. Right, that is that all done. Now that all that is done, the celebrating message and so on, let's do one more thing. You see, right on the form, I'm going to declare a public variable, and let's double click on that. So right underneath my public class from 1, I'm going to enter public counter as integer. There. And this very public counter, I want to call it inside my module here. So let's come right underneath here. So let's say from 1 dot counter, there we go. In this case, counter equals from 1 dot counter plus 1. There. So now anytime we click on the button, counter will definitely increment by 1, but we need to be able to display the information on this text box. So let's come back in here. So to display that, what we need to do is, let's say form1.text, form1.text box, so text box 1 dot text equals number of clicks. Okay, and in that case our number of clicks and form1 dot counter. Let's copy that and paste it there. There we go. So for every clicks, the counter, the text box is actually displaying how many clicks so far. So the next thing we want to do now is, let's use a for loop. Before that, let's write another subroutine here and just call it shuffle. In the case of this very shuffle, I am going to be declaring an array, and this array is going to be 15 comma, no, let's come out of it and say comma. I'm going to declare another one, I comma, and all of this is going to be, let's say rn, and declare all of this as integer. There we go. Now let's declare another one that's going to be known as flag. In the case of flag, that will be boolean. Let's say boolean expression in there to take care of that. Now come right down here. Let's move this up so that you guys can see it. So in the first place, my flag is going to be assigned the value of false. Now let's say I equals 1. And what about my array? Let's say A equals J and J equals 1. Now let's use a do while loop. Do while I is less than or equals to 15, and in that case let's use random. Let's say randomize. Randomize as follows, enter parentheses right there. Then rn equals, and let's make that integer. Let's say 15 multiplied by random, and enter parentheses plus 1. There. Okay, now we're going to use a for loop. Now let's come right down here and say for j equals 1 to whatever value we have inside I, and if a is, let's say a is j, and in that case rn, let's close that anyway, come right down here and just close this here as well. There, equals as follows. Let's say equal, the flag in this case will be true. Move that down. Okay, that's, I just had to speed that up anyway. That is that for the for loop, and here the flag will be true, else the flag will be false. Okay, now let's come down in here. You see right underneath the for loop, I'm now going to call form1, and let's say form1 dot button 1. We want to now add dot text itself. Now want to add whatever we have inside the array. So it's going to be 1. So let's just copy this. We need 15 of those, 16 in total. Right, copy, and then we just change the numbers around. That's it, 16. And number 16 will be nothing. And this will be 15, and so on, guys. That's 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and so on. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and there we go. So my models is all taken care of now. There, have a good look at that. Okay, take it from the top there, and let's move this so that you can see the message box. Right, and take it down. That is where I have used my randomization to take care of the numbers and assigning the array to the buttons. Now let's go to the form. Right here on the form, we double click on this, double click on button 1. Okay, the first thing we want to try and achieve is inside this very button 1 is to be able to check the location of each of these buttons. You see, like button 1 has button 2 right beside it, and right underneath it is button 5. The same thing applies to button 2. We have 1, 3, 6. 3, in the case of 3 we have 2, 4, and 7, and so on. But first thing first, let's go back to the form load. You see the form load, we need to be able to call this very shuffle. Let's call that, and we're going to have to call that inside form load. So that would be the procedure that we actually shuffle the buttons around. So we've taken care of that. And even this command, we can always call that, but we should call that in here as well. That's going to be for my reset. So let's right click, get the property of that, get that sorted, and that one, let me just call it reset, and this one is going to be known as exit. Okay, exit. So double click on the reset button and take care of that. Then we can then take care of the button 1. In the case of the button 1, double click on button 1. Right here, let's call the empty slot. So empty slot checker. Inside the empty slot checker, let's check the position of button 1 comma button number 2. So that is for 2. Then the next button bit underneath button 1 is button 5. Copy that and paste that right underneath there and change this to button 5. And let's call the solution X, the solution checker, to be sure that everything is recorded and check to make sure it's correct. There we go. Now that's for button 1 taken care of. I'm going to copy that. Let's come in here. For button 2 we have 1, 3, 6. So double click on that, and the checker is going to be button 2, then we have 1, 3, and right underneath is 6. Paste that, that's 6 here. There, I'm going to copy that again. Now let's check out the other one. That is for button 3 is 2, 4, 7. So let's come in here, change that to button 3, 2, 4, and 7. So this is 3, 3. So let's check button 4. Come right here, button number 4, double click. In the case of 4 we have 3 and 8. Okay, just 2, 3 and 8. So I'm going to get rid of this. Button 4 with 3 and 8. Now what about button 5? Button 5 is 1, 9, 6. Double click on button 5. 1, 9. Let's say 6, 9 there. Let's see. 169. Okay, that's fine. So we need to change these to 5, 5, 5, and 5. There we go. Now button 6 is 5, 2, 7, 10. Double click on that. We have 5, 2, 7, 10. And this one will be 10, 5, 2. This will be 5. And this is button 6. And so on, guys. So I'm going to have to speed that up now that you guys get the whole idea. Okay guys, I have officially finished with all of the buttons, so have a good look at it. Smooth this up a little bit. Yeah, and come right down. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So let's try this out and see. Oh, we have an error. Okay, I think that must be right in here. Let's go to the, oh, look at it already right here. Let's delete that equals empty. No, that's wrong. Okay, let's try that again. Move this up. Yeah, that's fine, guys. Alright, so our number shuffle is taken care of, so just a little bit of more of modification to it now. So what I want to do now is just to change the appearance of everything. So let's exit that. In the first place, I want to increase the font size of the text box. So for my text box, I'm going to make that approximately, let's go for 80 something there. See, it's coming up. Just going to make that 84 bold. And click on OK. Now the next thing I want to do is for the form, let's change the back color of that very form. I'm going to make that cadet blue. Back color, web, cadet blue. There we go. There. And the text box as well. Let's change the text box itself to cadet blue. Just copy that. Now go for text box, change it to cadet blue, and let's get rid of the border. Let's make it none, no border there. Alright, so that's done. What about the buttons? Select all of the buttons. Let's change the color of the buttons to powdered blue. Buttons, background color for the buttons will be powdered blue right underneath here. There we go. All of the buttons apart from these two are powdered blue now. There we go. That's fine. Now the next thing is I'm going to double click on exit. So inside exit, I'm going to declare as follows: I exit. I'm going to say equals message box button dot show as follows. Confirm if you want to exit. Right, cover that up here. There we go. Now let's say comma and enter shuffle game. That's the title, and another comma there. This other comma will be for message box button. The message box button in this case is going to be dot yes or no, comma message box. Let's go for question here. Message box icon dot question. There we go. Now let's use an if statement to validate the selection made. So let's come right down here. Press enter. If I exit equals dialog result. Let's say dot yes in this case. Then I'm going to say end. The reason being because I cannot use application.exit for the close. Supposing the user decide to close this form closing, double click on form closing, and we want to select, change that to closing, form closing. That's it. There we go. Paste that in there. In the case of form closing, we can only say e.cancel equals true, and here the dialog result in this case is going to be no. There we go. So we've taken care of the exit. So move this up. So exit, yes or no. Okay, that's fine, that's working. Now let's try out our number shuffle. You see that? Oh, that's too dark. Let me change the color to white. So come in there, exit. No, let's try this out. Yes. Okay, come right here, select that and change the color to white so that we can see the font properly. Now I can just change it to control light. Cancel that. We need to change the font. Okay, window white, that's cool. And get the text centered as well. Align equal center. Alright, that's taken care of. The form itself, let's go straight to the position, start position, and get it centered. There. Now let's select all of the buttons. And for all of these buttons, I just want to use mouse enter. So let's come in here, mouse, let's go to the event, and where we have mouse enter, let's say, give that a name, change color, press enter, and right underneath here I'm going to declare as follow: dim b as button and equals sender, and b dot back color equals, I'm going to say color dot sky blue. I'm not going to make it so obvious. Sky blue is fine. Now, so once your mouse enter, the button will change to sky blue. Look at that, guys, it's now sky blue. So let's return it back to powdered blue. So go back in here. Okay, we need mouse enter. Okay, so select all of these buttons again, including these two, and come right down here, change the event to mouse leave, not mouse enter, mouse leave. So inside mouse leave, let's just say change back color. So change back color to as follows: dot powdered blue. There we go. That is that done. So mouse leaves and mouse enter done. Exit is done as well. And that is it, guys. That's how you create your own number shuffle in Visual Studio using Visual Basic. Right, look at that, guys. So let's see if we can win. If we win, there should be a message box right there. Yeah, so let's speed that up. Okay, guys, I just had to speed that up, so let's see if we can get it right. And there we go, guys. Look at that. There. See? Well done. You are a winner. And that is how you create your own number shuffle using Visual Studio.net. And the application is Visual Basics. Click on OK. There, and you can even shuffle and start it all over. There we go. Now, in the case of reshuffling, we need to also reset the numbers. So let's go back in here. So when we click on reshuffle, we want to get rid of whatever content we have on the text box. So let's come right down here. So let's say text box 1 dot text equals there. Now run the program. And there we go, guys. There. So let's try to reshuffle. There. So with that, guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this very beautiful tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and you all have a nice day now. Bye for now. Bye.